Hello everybody and welcome. If you're watching this video, it means you're a super cool person and you have been invited on the 4th annual Memorial Day Susquehanna River Float Canoe Kayak Trip. So let's get into it. This year for 2025, the weekend will be May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. 3-day trip will cover 32 miles of the Susquehanna. Day number 1 is going to be a 7-mile day. Day number 2 is going to be a 19-mile day. And day number 3 will be a 6-mile day. Very doable weekend if we're looking at historical trips from the past. So, quick overview. We're starting in the town of Duncannon, floating down, and then finishing in the town of York Haven. And right in the middle is the Harrisburg capital. So it's going to be a fun little trip, very urban section of the river, very wide section of the river, good flow rate as well. It's going to be super cool. So that is a brief overview of the weekend. I'm going to do a quick synopsis on Google Maps and show the transportation things that we're going to do, and any addresses or things like that are going to be in the description of this video, which is a new thing I'm attempting this year. So that's going to be super cool. So let's get into it. I hate my voice on camera.
So first thing right off the bat is just a whole bird's eye view of the weekend from Google Maps so we can see it start to finish, and I'll go over some of the logistics about vehicle planning here, which we've done in years past. So more than likely we'll be coming either down 81 or down 11 and 15. This top dot here is the start in Duncannon, and then this dot all the way here at the end is York Haven. So you can see Harrisburg, Hershey, and so day 1 is just going to be from this dot to this dot, where we camp on an island the first night. Day 2 will be from this dot to this dot. That's the 19-miler day in the middle. And then day 3 will be from this dot to this dot. And so when we come down here with our vehicles, the first day on Friday, we're going to drop all of our gear up here at the top. All the canoes, anything you need for the weekend, drop here at this top dot. Then we're going to take the vehicles all down to the bottom. It's a 43-minute drive to this bottom dot here. And then with all the vehicles parked there, then we're going to take one vehicle back with all the people who drove back up to the top. And then we will park that car at the top and then leave all the cars at the bottom. So that way we can all get back, float down for the weekend with our cars waiting for us, load up everything at the end, and then just travel north for that on the last day and get the vehicles. And then we're going to head probably up 11 and 15 for lunch. Like I said, I'll have the addresses for the starting and the end point for everybody in the description of this video. But that's a bird's eye view of the weekend, and then we'll take a look at the map for a little bit more details and all the fun little hazards and things that we got to go around. Woohoo! The Susquehanna River is a designated water trail, so it is broken up into the northern, middle, and lower sections. This year we're going to be completing the end portion of the middle section and then breaking into the first map of the lower section. These trail maps actually have mile markers and everything on them, so this compass is literally just a silly decoration. What we're looking at right here is all of day number 1. We're going to be starting at this boat launch here located next to Haldeman Island and about mile number 88 on the river. So once we launch, we'll follow this short channel right down into the Susquehanna where it meets the Juniata River. Another fun fact about this portion is this mountain range here carries the Appalachian Trail down and crosses the river. So we'll meet the Juniata and the Appalachian Trail first part of our trip. Very cool. Once we kick out in the Susquehanna, we're going to come around this curve to this first short section of riffles. Nothing to worry about, just a little bit of quicker moving water. Another fun fact about this is the next 8 miles is what's known as the Susquehanna Water Gaps, where it cuts through 5 mountain ridges, a bit of a geographical anomaly. Very, very pretty. Super excited to do that. Once we get through all these riffles, we're going to stop at this cluster of islands to stop for night number 1. We're either going to be at site 81A or 81B. Or if we go by site number 82 and we like that better, we'll just stop there. But that is where we're going to stop night number 1. All right, so for day number 2, we're going to wake up here on this cluster of islands, have a nice big breakfast, and set off for our 19-mile day on the Susquehanna, which is not going to be that big of a deal because, as you can see, we got a little bit of current going down through here. So once we leave our campsite here, we encounter our first obstacle, which is the Dauphin Narrows. Little fast section of water here. There's also a miniature Statue of Liberty on a bridge pier out here in the middle. Fun little anecdote. So you can see that this dotted line runs along river left, or the eastern shore of the Susquehanna, and that is if you want to go through just safely, not a lot of obstacles, you can hug that eastern shore there, or if you're a little bit more daring, you can come out a little bit closer to the middle. I don't believe it's a terribly challenging section of rapids if you've done any of these trips before, but if you don't want to, you just hug the other side. Same thing, once we get past that, we get to another little section of riffles here. This section and this section also has a dotted line on the eastern shore. So if you just don't want any of that smoke, you just stay to the left. Not a problem. I've actually done these sections before. The black diamonds are just there to scare you. They're really not that bad of a section. But after we get through those two obstacles, then it's just a whole bunch of open-ended river shenanigans down through all this cluster of islands here. This is actually a rookery, so lots of cool birds and stuff like that on that island if you're into that sort of thing. Which then brings us down to obstacle number 4 for the day, which is the Dock Street Dam. But before we go over that dam, this is actually halfway through our journey right here next to City Island. And we can dock our boats underneath of this bridge here, and there's actually some kind of Harrisburg Festival of the Arts or sorts going on right here. So there's going to be a line of food trucks and stands and stuff here halfway through our day. So for lunchtime, we're gonna dock under this bridge, go up, eat some food, bring a little bit of cash, and then after lunch, we're going to figure out the Dock Street Dam. But I need to get to my next section of map because I'm running out of space. So now we're in our next section of map, but still in the same spot, the Dock Street Dam, which is this red line going across in here. But you'll notice there are 2 nice orange dots here for a portage landing. Because this is the Harrisburg City Capitol, they have a wonderful section of walkway along this portion of the river. So it's actually just a paved concrete path and some nice steps that run along this whole section here. So where we are pulling out of the river for lunch is going to be at that first orange dot. They have a nice little canoe launch. We pull our boats up there, get a little bit of cash, have a little bit of lunch at this section here, and then we grab our boats. I've got a little 2-wheeled cart that can fit underneath of everybody's canoes, or we can just carry them to this second put-in point right here. If you remember the end of last year's trip, we portaged that dam. It was a bit of a logistical nightmare. These 2 dots make it a logistical dream. So we come down the river, make sure to get out here, get some lunch, walk down past the dam, put back in, and then we are home free for the second half of day 2 to get us to our camping site. So we can, again, open-ended shenanigans through this cluster of islands, down the river till we get to Sassafras Island at mile number 62. And that is where we'll be camping at the tip of this island for night number 2. So now we come to day number 3. Once we have our breakfast, we'll shove off from Sassafras Island in the morning and head south, and then immediately run into 3 Mile Island, site of America's worst nuclear disaster, which was really just more of a little nuclear mishap. No biggie. So there is a bit of a boating exclusion zone right here, which is bullcrap because Shelley Island and Beach Island are both covered in houses that have docks sticking out from the edge. So that means there's a lot of people that are doing boating right here. So what I would like to do, because I really want to see the cooling towers on 3 Mile Island, we're going to sneak around right on the edge of Shelley Island, just being super chill, and then the cooling towers are right here. So then we will go in between Shelley Island and Beach Island, so that way we can get over easier to River Right, so we can avoid the York Haven Dam. Same thing as the Dock Street Dam, very convenient, take out and put in locations. So once we get past the tip of Shelley Island, we go River Right, hug this shoreline until we get to this orange dot, walk around to the lower orange dot, and then, what do you know it, the Falmouth Boat Access, which is the takeout point for our trip, will conclude day number 3. So once we take out there, we get all of our stuff at the end, and then we head north for lunch. I should mention for the record, I am just being a little bit cheeky about this section. There's just a perimeter around the island because they don't want you to get too close to 3 Mile Island. So going through this section is perfectly legal. And if you have any qualms about this dam right here, there is a lot of space between this red line and this shore. So it's not like we're going to get sucked off the edge. There's not even water pouring off the edge. It goes through a hydro station down here and a little bit up here. So this section right here, no biggie to cap off the day.